What's going on, guys? Welcome to the very first episode of the Persevere Performance Podcast in 2024. I know I've been lagging. I meant to put an episode last week, but I've been pretty preoccupied with the nutrition seminar we're doing here at the gym, January 13th. So that's been taking quite a bit of my time, but I am making it a point to get back in the groove of getting on here and just sharing what I'm learning with you guys, man. So I'm actually really excited about this episode because I feel like this is something that as we're starting the year, right, I know we all set goals that we want to achieve this year. And I think this piece that I'm going to talk about today is going to determine whether a lot of you guys, a lot of us, actually really all of us, hit those goals or don't. And today, man, I really just want to talk about becoming your own cheerleader, becoming your biggest support. Listen, and I love to see this, right? You see people out there, they'll cheer for everybody, they'll support anybody, they'll encourage anybody. But when it comes to themselves, and sometimes I'm guilty of this myself too, right? It's like when it comes to ourselves, like we're so hard on ourselves, or we doubt ourselves, or we almost put ourselves down when we don't do as much as we want to do, right? But I think, you know, the biggest goal with this is like, at the end of the day, and this is something that I'm learning more and more, right? Like nobody wants to see you succeed more than them. And if you have a big vision, if you have a big goal, man, at some point you're going to have to start becoming reliant on yourself, reliant on your belief in you, and your accountability and your forgiveness at times, right? And I mean, going back to that, like, what do I mean by becoming your best friend? Like, focusing on your own abilities, focusing on the belief you have for you, trusting that you are capable of achieving great things. So I really look at it in a way where, like, if your best friend was to come to you, right, and he was unhappy, he was having health issues, and he came to you and was like, man, like, I'm going to start losing weight, right? I'm going to go on this weight loss journey, or I'm going to start really taking care of my health, taking that serious. You wouldn't be like, dude, that's not who you are, right? Or you wouldn't be like, yo, you can't achieve that. You've never done that before. You wouldn't. You would cheer them on, right? You would literally be like, all right, man, like, I got you. Like, what do you need from me? Like, do you need my support? Do you need my accountability, right? What do you need from me? What can I do for you to make sure you go into this journey and you succeed in this journey? And I think sometimes we like to do that to ourselves, right? Like we are unhappy with a job, or we're unhappy with our health, we're unhappy with our bodies. But as soon as we think of making those changes, or we think of, jumping, making that jump, making that leap, we start thinking to ourselves like, man, you've never done that before, right? You're not capable. You're not qualified to do that. And that blows my mind, dude. Like, and I'm speaking into the camera for myself as well, right? I am my own worst critic sometimes, man, and I do not give myself enough credit for what I know I'm capable of doing, or the things that I want to go after, even if I'm not fully ready. So I just I really just wanted to say, man, like, going into 2024, man, I really encourage you guys to really challenge yourself and really push yourself to become your own biggest cheerleader. And not only cheerleader, but biggest supporter as well, right? Like, if you set goals, like, be the first one to call yourself out in the sense of like, yo, you're not doing what you said you were gonna do, right? Instead of like, oh well, it's okay. I've justifying it in any type of way, right? So, and we go back to this, right? Like, your friend comes to you, they're unhappy with their health, they're having health issues. Doctor said they gotta lose weight, they gotta, um, stop whatever. They're diabetic, they gotta stop eating sugar. And then next time you see them, you guys go to the gas station together, and you see him get a bunch of candy, and he's got these things going on. What would you do? I know what I would do, right? I'd be like, bro, like, should you be getting that? Like, yo, like you said, you wanted to do this. The doctor mentioned you, like, let me hold you accountable. Like, let me encourage you and be that support you need. And being that for ourselves, being that in our own journey, being that in our own goals, right? And everything we set out for ourselves. And don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Don't be afraid to get yourself out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to do things that you're not used to doing. Because that's where growth happens, right? That's where growth happens, when we're most uncomfortable. I mean, unfortunately, right? Because nobody wants to be uncomfortable. But as your biggest supporter, as your biggest cheerleader, right? Like, encourage yourself to do those things and cheer yourself on. Go after it. So, really short video, but I just wanted to say, man, let's start believing in ourselves as much as we believe in everybody else. Let's start cheering for ourselves. Let's start holding ourselves accountable to the things we said we wanted to do, to the goals that we set out. Because I genuinely believe, and like I said, I'm still working at it massively, but I do believe that once we start becoming our own cheerleaders, once we start believing in ourselves, just like we believe in everybody else, sky's the limit. So, I encourage you guys, man, if you got anything from this video, start rooting for yourself. So, that's all I have for you guys today. I'm going to get on these a lot more often. And yeah, man, just sharing this kind of stuff with you guys. So I hope you guys have an incredible start to your year, and you guys finish all the way through in 2024 and achieve everything you set out to achieve. Have an incredible day, and always remember, we're stronger together.